Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy!
Hey, welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast. This is episode 41, and today we're going to be bringing to you our favorite soundtracks of all time. So, before we get started, we got a little bit. Oh, we got five. Oh, sorry, we're doing five. Oh, okay, top five. Hey, before we get started, we got some music news for you. So, I think Alan's got a little rock and roll review to share with us. Go.
Saturday night, I went to the Ford Center here in Evansville. I took my dad to see John Fogerty, and god damn, that was a good show. That's my review. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. And Dennis.
No. Okay, have fun. When the Queen speaks, the King speaks back.
All right.
She said, yes, he better. So anyway, I didn't know what to expect. I knew it was going to be a good show because, you know, John Fogerty is 71 years old, and I think he's got this down pat. But
he's had some practice.
He's had a couple of days to get them little finger things down, scales, whatever. But there was no opening act. He played for about an hour and 50 minutes, hour and 45 minutes, give or take. You know, and that includes there was a little bit of talking between songs, not much. He did tell one or two stories. He told a story about Woodstock, and then he told a couple other stories. But for the most part, played and sang. You know, and I told my dad, I'm like, Ted Nugent could take a lesson from this guy.
Right.
But that's a whole nother. Yeah, he didn't get political. Somebody warned me that he might get political during the show. But, I mean, he walked out. They started the show. And after the first song, he was like, you know, we're not here to talk. We're here to play music. So that's what we're going to do.
Wow.
You know.
But no opening act, though.
No opening act. His son, Shane, was one of his guitar players.
Right.
So there were a couple of songs where he got Shane up there, and they would do a, you know, back and forth guitar jam. You know, that was pretty cool. Right. And Kenny Aronoff was on drums again.
Right.
You know, I've seen just about every band that I've seen perform has had Kenny Aronoff in their band at least once. Yeah. But
he's in a lot.
Was the bulk of his material CCR, or was it?
All of the songs were CCR. There were 5 John Fogerty songs. And there was one that I know was a cover song because he said who had originally performed it, and it was one of the old blues guys. Okay. So I don't know if CCR ever recorded the song or if he just played it.
So I'm taking the fact
because it's not
that
on the Greatest Hits CD, and that's the only Fogerty that I have, or CCR that I have, rather.
And I'm taking it that he has, I guess he wrote and he has the rights to all the CCR stuff. Yes. Nobody else has.
Okay. All of the
so.
Well, CCR.
We don't have a rat situation where we got one guy to.
No, there's a band called, and I don't know if they're still touring now. I know about 10 years ago it was called Creedence Clearwater Revisited.
I remember that.
Which was the drummer and the bass player.
Right.
But they had a different guitar player and a different singer.
Were they? I mean, I guess
they did. That's all they did was CCR songs.
That's cool.
You know, so.
Right.
I mean, all of those guys helped write those songs, so it'd be kind of hard to tell them, no, you can't perform those.
I honestly don't know anything about John Fogerty or CCR as far as what happened in the breakup and how ugly it was, and you know, I don't know if it was a.
Well, I know at one point after Fogerty went solo, he got sued by his old record label for sounding too much like himself.
Oh, that's
yeah. I mean, if you Google that, there's more details about exactly what the lawsuit was. But basically, what it was boiled down to was you sound too much like you did when you were in CCR, and we don't like that. You know, but John Fogerty is CCR,
right?
And for those of you who are watching or listening, if you go to our Ages of Rock podcast Facebook page, I did record video of Who'll Stop the Rain, so I've got that video on the page.
I watched it.
What was really cool about that was, you know, you can tell the difference in the artists or whatever, because I don't remember seeing anywhere on the ticket that said no recording. you
Right.
know, and everybody had their phones up at some point or another recording something. Even my dad, I got him a smartphone last week, you
Right.
know, and the first thing he did was show me how to operate this camera. You know,
Right.
I need to know how to do video, and he recorded himself about 15 minutes of video from that show.
That's
Cool.
cool.
So that
And
I
that's
thought
cool
that
that you
was
guys to
pretty
take your
cool.
dad. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, those are fleeting times, right?
Those are
Some, you know,
yeah. I would venture to guess that this is probably going to be the last concert he gets to go to.
So did he enjoy it real well?
Oh
I mean,
my
was
gosh, he was
like,
like, rock
really-
and roll, John, rock and roll.
Well, great.
You know,
That's
Cool,
great.
that's
I
awesome.
seen
That
the
was
picture of
pretty
you
cool.
two together.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome. So, no,
Yeah.
good for
And that
you
was
guys.
him giving the peace sign, not me.
cool.
But
That's awesome.
yeah, when I uploaded the video to YouTube, I was kind of concerned because a lot of those artists, you know, have the DMCA takedown notices. But I uploaded it and I waited a little bit and then I went and looked at it and it immediately got one of those copyright claims on it. And when you click on it, it says the copyright owner, you know, says you can put this on here, but we're going to put ads on it so they get compensated. Which I thought
That's cool.
I thought
That's
that was
cool.
pretty cool, you know.
Well,
Well,
that's
you know,
But I
why
also did my homework. I looked to see if anybody else had done, you know, audience video from a show. And that's
You
how
know,
that's how I decide if I'm going to share any video that I record or not.
that's like with you know getting into this situation where you know we're going to be going to see the Shaken Not Stirred a cappella group, and their biggest thing is take as much video as you want, put it on YouTube, tag yourself, whatever, because that's how they got to be famous.
Right.
That's how so they embrace the shit out of that. And like you said, that's a pretty good deal for them if they could do that and then tag the ad onto it, then they're going to make some money from
Right.
YouTube. And no, that's a good deal.
But also, if you look at the comment where I posted it on my own Facebook wall,
Right.
I did a screenshot of all of the different copyright claimants. There were like 12 of them.
Right. Oh, I know.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was pretty interesting.
So
You know, 'cause
how do they?
You've got the ASCAP or the BMI.
Yeah.
Right.
You've got the artist publisher, the record label, the record
the
label's
publisher,
publisher. You know, by the
everybody.
time you get through that whole list of, I was like, man, they're going to get like 2 cents off of that ad. I
Mhm.
think we'll split 2 cents between 12 people.
Yeah.
But here's my question, and this is a real quick question, and you may be able to answer this. When you posted that on there, I guess there is a bot that goes through the new
Well, as you upload
upgrade,
it, you know,
upload it,
the video is analyzed on the spot.
right?
You know, and
So they can tell if it is
it can tell because it said, you know, from 0.57 to 4.06.
wow.
You know, this is
Oh,
our
wow.
material. Yeah, I mean, it
That's
knew
really-
exactly where
that's
the
high
song
tech.
was.
That's
That was
that's
pretty
high
cool.
tech. That is cool.
Yeah,
And, you know, like, and good for them. You know, if they can make some money off the stuff by running ads on it, you know, that's great.
yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I mean,
No, I don't either.
it's not like it's my copyrighted content.
No, not at all. I mean, you're just
That's
doing
cool.
it on there to share it with other
Yeah.
people. So
So I mean, you know, it's really cool to see older artists like that who
Right.
aren't so. And I'm not. I
you would think they
I
would be
shouldn't-
more
I
anti-establishment.
shouldn't use the term "stick in the mud,"
No,
but a lot of the older artists are sticking the mud towards technology now.
get off my
mostly-
yard.
Mostly
Get off
because
my yard.
they don't use it and they don't understand it.
You and Clint.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point. I mean, he's figured it out, or somebody younger in his group has figured out. Hey, if we let
It's
them,
probably his son. Dad,
yeah, it's
don't
like
be a
Dad,
dick.
hey, Dad, don't be a
Probably.
dick.
All right. What else we got?
Real quick, something very interesting that I found this week was the fact that, of course, I think it was Sunday night. David Crosby played at the Victory,
I believe it was the Victory.
Yeah. and a friend of ours who does backline on there put some pictures on the internet, which I thought were real interesting, and hopefully sometime we'll get him on the show. But he had a picture. David Crosby has the Martin, I think it's a D45. Now, don't beat me up if I didn't get the number right. But he has serial number 1 and serial number 2, and had the pictures of the two guitars sitting there. And number 1 was the one that he played at Woodstock.
That was a pretty cool picture.
Wow.
And that brought up a subject of me and my friend Rob were talking about this the other day, and it may be a subject for a show down the road. But iconic guitars like that. I mean, what would that guitar being a Martin serial number 1 that was played at Woodstock? What would the thing bring at auction? Do you think? Hypothetical.
Big money.
I mean, it would be.
it all depends on how much a collector's willing to spend.
Exactly. I mean, Alan, you got that
now
right.
for me,
Right.
a David Crosby acoustic guitar from 1969. I give you a couple $100 for it. But I mean, it's not something that I would cherish.
Right.
But
we were talking.
If you said this is the Les Paul that Ace played on the 1975 Winterland show, that's in the black and white video, I would be like, honey, we don't really need this house, do we?
But I'm going to stop this right here because this is going to be another subject for another show, because I think there is picking our top 5 iconic guitars and what they, so
or
we're
drums,
just going to stop.
Dick.
We're just, fuck the drums. Drummers.
Basses?
No, we don't do basses. $2.
I want Grandpa Jones's banjo, goddammit.
But anyway, I did see those pictures this week, and just to see, like number 1 and number 2, I mean, he just had them sitting out. I mean, I would have a guard. I mean, like, at least being
that's
some
how
dudes actually watching.
Some of those guys have gotten stuff stolen over the years.
Oh yeah,
there's been a lot of people. So
whose guitar was it that somebody stole and he ended up buying it back from a pawn shop or something?
That was pretty recently. I remember hearing.
Yeah,
about
that wasn't that long ago.
I don't remember who it was.
There's been a lot of that situation. So actually, there was one. There was a story about one of Eric Clapton's, I guess, guitars or something.
I think it was Eric Clapton's guitar.
And the guy said, I know where it is, but I can't tell you who has it. That was the situation. He knows the collector that has it, but he won't say who it is. He bought it, underground. And
yeah. All right, so let's get started. Right. Tonight we're going to talk about our top 5 albums.
Are we going to do Crank It or Yank It first?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh my gosh!
So we're going to
get a song for this. We got to get a song for this.
Alan Tate is
Crank It or Yank
It. Be our yeah. Don't do that ever again. You should just never
Crank It or Yank It.
Dork it. Anyway. Way back in 1992, I bought a collection of CDs called Rock the First.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. There we go.
And it has a bunch of different artists. And we were talking about this the other day. I don't even know how we got on the topic of it. But I asked if they thought that they would.
It was the 80s music. We were talking about 80s the other day. The other side of hair.
I've slept since then.
So
I'm just going to pick a few
right.
tracks off of these.
There you go.
The Power Station. Get It On, Bang a Gong. That's a T-Rex cover. That's a slow motion yank.
I'm going with a yank.
Ew!
I wasn't sure what we were doing. It was like.
I'll tell you what, because I haven't heard it for a while, I'd probably yank it, but I'm not a big fan of that song.
Yeah, and he also said he didn't like Guns N' Roses, and then went to their show and said it was one of the best shows he's ever seen.
I know.
He's a liar.
Liar, liar, pants on fire. Okay, couple more off of this one. Belinda Carlisle, Heaven is a Place on Earth.
Nope.
Belinda Carlisle, I know where heaven is and with her, but it's I'm not a big fan of that song. I would yank it.
Okay. By the way, the Get It On, Bang a Gong is a crank for me.
Okay.
Heaven is a Place on Earth would be a crank for me.
Okay.
Robbie Neville, C'est La Vie.
I like that song.
That's another. I'm yanking it. I don't like
it.
All right.
I had that album.
Actually. I'm gonna get my sad kitty on here because
The Escape Club, Wild Wild West.
I'm gonna go yank it on that one.
I'm yanking it too.
I guess I'm doing thumbs down. That's not an option. Yank it or crank it.
Yeah, that's a yank for me as well, mostly because the club
that's another one.
The club that I hung out in Germany, that guy played it every.
Yeah.
Well, and same with you, Alan. That song just seemed like it showed up everywhere, and I got tired of it. So yeah, I agree.
Laura Branigan, Gloria.
Out.
Crank it.
See you later. Have a nice day.
Yank it the fuck
I'll
out.
crank it. It's got a pretty cool bass line. Yeah, that was when I first took bass lessons. One of the songs that I learned.
It's gone. It's out of there. That's a pretty shitty set of CDs you got there.
Well, I'm not going through all of them. See, now when Bill did his Yank It or Crank It list last time, he picked all songs he likes.
No, I didn't.
You know, so I'm.
And he had a couple.
You had like.
You did the first 3 you give a thumbs up to. So
out
shut
of
up.
the 10 songs that you
Fix your
picked,
pie hole.
like 9 of them. The Who, You Better You Bet.
I like that song.
Nah.
I'll get.
Not one of my favorite Who songs.
Crank. Wall of Voodoo, Mexican Radio.
I don't.
I'm gonna yank it.
I'm gonna go with no. Yankee.
I'm going to go with I don't know that one.
I don't
Scandal,
know.
The Warrior.
Oh, Crank It. Love that song.
Crank It. Anything with Scandal.
That's a great CD too, by the way.
Patty Smythe is hot. She's just hot.
I don't know.
And here's a song
And she's
that
married,
I probably...
you know who she's married to?
That one guy.
No.
That guy. Do you
That
actually
girl?
know?
He's a
The
tennis player. He's
John
a tennis
McEnroe.
player. Yes.
Is she really?
Yes, she is.
Wow.
Okay, back to the show. Arcadia, Election Day.
I would crank it. I love that song.
I probably haven't heard that song since the last time I played this. CD.
I like that song.
I don't. Yeah,
It's a good song. It's a good
I
80s
have to go
song.
back and listen to that.
It's kind of a, it's an 80s song.
The
But it's
Dream
good.
Academy, Life in a Northern Town.
Crank. But you can't crank that one. It's just not that jam.
Yeah, it's kind of it's like a ballady song. You can't
It'd
really.
be like cranking like.
I crank. It's a good song though.
The
It is a good
Motel, Suddenly Last Summer.
Yeah, crank it.
Yeah, crank it.
The Bangles, Hazy Shade of Winter.
Get out of here.
No, you can't get.
See you later. Go. Do it.
I like that version way better than the Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel.
Yank it.
How did those two
Bobby
ever? Money?
McFerrin, Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Oh God.
No.
Bury it. Bury it.
In
Deep-
basic training, our drill instructor loved that song.
You should
Bury
throw
it.
that whole CD out just because that
That's
one's fun.
that whole set sucks.
Yeah. Well, there are 10 songs on each album. I wasn't going to go through all of them. But that is it for this edition of Yank It or Crank It.
See, it's picking
I am
up.
not doing that. So I am not.
Oh, we all got to do it in unison. It'd be
No, he's
like
not.
the greatest shit ever.
No. So now Bill's going to start the show.
All right, let's get the show rolling. Roll it out, Bill.
Okay, let's try again. Okay, on tonight's show, we're going to talk about our top 5 soundtracks. Not in any particular order.
What? No.
I'm going to do it in order. So,
Well,
Okay.
Dennis can do it in order, but Dennis did this thing where pick your top 5, and then he
Yeah.
forgets to tell us the damn rules until 3 minutes before we
you
go
guys
live.
don't like
So,
rules, so I follow rules. Okay, so there you
whatever.
go. All right.
Whatever. Okay. So,
I'm gonna do
anyway,
it my
here
way.
we go.
You guys do whatever you want. So,
And, are you ready? Who's
Yes.
going first? You want me to go first?
I
sure.
want Dennis to go first.
Okay, go first,
All right.
Dennis.
My number 5, on the lowest of the poll, is surprisingly Saturday Night Fever.
Let me scratch that one off my list.
And the reason that I like this was, I mean, the songs
Got
are
the Bee
written.
Gees.
The songs were written for the movie. I mean, they were written. All the Bee Gees songs were written for this movie. They weren't like they didn't just hash a bunch of songs together. It's a great. And the one thing I want to mention right at the very beginning is movies are good and soundtracks are good, but when you get a good soundtrack and a good movie together, it's magical. And these are some of my favorite movies for just that reason. If you put other songs to this movie, it may not be my favorite. It just is one of those things where everything mixes together and that's awesome. But Saturday Night Fever, that's my number 5.
Hey, let's do a little yank it and crank it on this one. That's
Yeah,
a crank it.
That's very good. Okay, well, that's a good
Well,
idea.
Saturday Night Fever was on my list. I have more than 5 albums on my
That's
list
fine.
because I have a feeling that we're all going to have a couple that.
Oh, I'm sure we're all going to
Yeah.
be kind of.
So,
I don't know.
let's see. The first one that I will pick off of my list is the Dazed and Confused soundtrack.
I had that as a bonus.
And that's the only DVD that I don't have.
Well,
That's
you
a-
know,
I do
there
have
are
it, but it's not top.
actually 2 soundtracks to that.
Right.
Yeah.
There's one called Dazed and Confused, and then another one that's even more Dazed and Confused.
Exactly.
And I like the even more Dazed and Confused better than the.
But were they
original.
used in the movie?
I Don't know.
See, I think the second one was basically
They may not have been. I haven't seen that movie since it first came out.
Yeah.
But that soundtrack is pretty awesome. You know,
Yep.
because I mean,
Good
all
choice.
of those obviously those songs fit the era.
Well, and that was
the
the
subject
thing
matter
was,
of the movie.
I had another movie that I wanted to put in, and I'll go ahead and keep that in. I'll just tell them that was when I was going to change out because when I was up there at Rod's house, we were talking about stuff, and that's the first thing he mentioned. I'm like going, holy shit, I forgot. I mean, I just completely kind of forgot about it, and I looked it up on IMDb, and I'm like going, oh my god, that's the greatest soundtrack ever. So I'm like, okay, I got to switch one outside. I was going to shove one out. I'm going to keep my original back in. So, but anyway, it is. I agree with you. It's a great soundtrack.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Prince's Purple Rain.
Ooh,
Mark
I
that
forgot
one
about
off
that.
my
I
list.
forgot about
front
that.
to back.
Forgot about that.
Every single
that
song.
entire album kicks
Great
ass.
album.
Oh,
Crank
that's
It.
awesome. And Crank It. No, that was good. I completely forgot about that one. I did. Wow, how did I forget
That's
that?
actually the very first one that I put on my list.
Wow.
That was the third one for me, but it isn't. Whatever.
Wow. Well, there again,
All right,
that's another thing that's been.
Yeah,
I mean, it
it
was all original.
I think we saw that movie like 14 times. I'm not joking because Lisa and I
the
were
thing
together,
was,
and we went
too,
all the time. And the movie was not very good, but
I
Right.
the
watched that
soundtrack
movie.
was really good.
I watched that movie for the first time, like 2 days after Prince died. For real, I'd never seen.
I
it
did
before.
too. Well,
It's
was
kind of
on
weird. It's a
TV,
weird
like-
movie,
Yeah.
Well, the
but
great
Morris
thing
Day in
about
Time. I mean, it was
that's what I
some
was going
cool
to say.
stuff.
Not only
I
just
believe we-
Prince,
we-
you had Morris Day in there.
I
mean,
believe
and that
we
was
talked
just-
about this, and I said that it was the '80s version of "Kiss Meets the Phantom of the
Yeah,
Park."
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Except for the music.
Well, yeah. Prince knocked it out of the park with that music.
He did.
Yeah,
That was
he did.
awesome.
Well, Prince and the
Put him on the
Revolution.
map, big time.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, my number 4 is Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights actually goes.
Which
I
version
mean,
of the movie is that?
it is the
Dirt
first
Diggler.
the first one. The first one. I mean,
Is that the unrated
there's been so many versions of this thing, and it ain't even funny.
I don't think there's any versions in that movie.
But
I
anyway,
thought he said
this,
virgins too.
this thing here though goes from
Jesus
not
God.
only does it go from the 60s into the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, movie wise, it takes you along with the music too.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack to this video is just, I mean, and if you ever see the movie and you listen to Sister Christian, you get a little bit different perspective of Sister Christian.
Note to self.
Yep.
Don't buy weed from the guy that has Sister Christian on the stereo. But anyway, no, it is a good.
I'll make that note. Don't buy weed.
Yeah, especially if he has a little Chinese guy shooting off fireworks.
Yeah.
but no, like I said, that movie there, they capital. I mean, I'm sure the thing is that why a lot of these movies don't do that is because they have to buy the rights to these songs.
Sure. Yep.
And of course, Boogie Nights was, it was a big mainstream movie. Plus, it had a lot of stars in it, so they spent, untold fortunes. And actually, Boogie Nights too, Alan, is one of those ones that came out with another version of that. I think more of the soundtrack, and it had like 2 versions of it, just like the Dazed and Confused did. I mean, they just kept continuing trying to sell
Yeah.
the Boogie Nights franchise, I guess is what it is. Anyway, that was number 3 or number 2 for me. 4.
Number 4.
Yeah, number 4. I'm going the second one, number 4. There you go. Shut up.
All right.
I'm
You
confused.
fucks.
My next pick is the soundtrack to Forrest Gump.
There you go.
Oh.
That was one that I had, and I took
That's
off.
got a lot of different stuff on it.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Forrest Gump is a lot
Yeah.
like Boogie Nights. It went
Yep.
through so many different eras.
Yeah.
So it has a little bit of something from the 60s and the 70s.
That was originally on my top 5, but once I looked at the tracks of it, I seen other movies that I liked a little bit better. But
Right.
like I said, it did. It went from the early mid 60s through the 80s or through the 90s actually. So
Cool.
Good.
All right.
Good.
So my next one is from back in 1983, Eddie and the Cruisers. It was a movie that was based on a bar band that was from the '60s and or the '50s maybe,
Right.
and he died in the movie, and these guys are all trying to bring back his music and stuff like that.
Right.
It's the soundtrack, and it's John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band is really who all the music's with. But there ended up being three.
Beaver.
He's a beaver. I think there were 3 versions of that. Three movies, and all 3 movies the soundtrack's really good. I mean, but the movies were not so good, but the soundtracks are really good. So
Right.
that's mine. That's my number 2.
4,
My number
3.
2, 4. I don't know.
That's your number 3.
I'm lost.
Top
No, it
3.
could have been 3. You went first, dude. Jesus.
I did.
All right.
Anyway.
Now you're up
Go.
again, Dennis.
All right, so I'm up again. My next one would have been what Alan said, but I'm going to go ahead and throw the original one I had in, and that's Valley Girl. Valley Girl had some really cool. I know you guys.
I need a spoon.
Jackie with a spoon.
Jackie with a spoon.
But there again, it was one of those things that you got to remember. It was the '80s, and that was the other side of the hair of my '80s. I enjoyed that movie. I love the songs of that movie, and actually there was originals in that.
I'm pretty sure that ruined Nicolas Cage's career.
Actually, it was the start of his career. That's what it was. He ruined it later on, with some other
later on.
But I was trying to think of the name of the band. But anyway, there was the band that played in the Plimsouls.
That's mostly punk stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, but there again they have Pat Travers, the La La song. That's a great song. That's when they're driving back down into the dangerous part of.
I thought he only did Snorting Whiskey.
Oh no! This is if you ever get a chance, to the Pat Travers, the La La song. Listen to that; it's a great song.
Probably not. Good.
Anyway, no, it's just one of those great movies with a great soundtrack, and I liked it. So anyway, go for it, Alan.
Grease is the word.
Oh man!
I was going to put that, but I knew you guys would do it, so I just got Grease off my list. But it's so great.
It's got
it was a toss up between Grease and Xanadu. No kidding. I'm kidding.
Everybody in the United States can repeat every word of every song of Grease.
Grease, yeah.
They can't do Xanadu.
And they do those dances too.
Yeah. Exactly.
And Bill still refuses
to participate. And like the new song.
No, I'll do this. I'm just not doing that.
Oh, you just did it.
Nope, I didn't go that side.
You did. You went under. I saw.
He recorded it. We can edit it out and just loop it.
Well, you guys will end up showing up and not doing it.
No, anyway, Grease. Yeah. No, I agree with you. Grease is a big.
That's a crank it.
Big thumbs up.
Crank it. Yeah.
Big thumbs up.
Love it.
All right, let's see. Next for me. Well, I was going to go with Grease, so I have to pick a different one, right?
Right. Well, no, you don't have
Grease.
to.
No, that's okay. I'll pick a different one because I got a list, so I'll just pick something else. I would pick The Big Chill.
That's some good song. I forgot about that. Kelly has that.
I heard it through the grapevine, and a lot of songs from back in the '60s and early '70s. And
there's a mega shit ton of soundtracks. It's hard to remember.
And that album has got.
I own that.
And
I own that.
More
CD.
songs from The Big Chill, and then more songs from the More Songs of The Big Chill, but they in that one they ended up doing the More Songs of Big Chill was actually, I believe what I read was that was actually more songs from the movie, and the third one was just more songs from the same era, and they just kept trying to sell them,
Because Kelly and her friends were really big into that movie, and they all I've got the CD. I forgot about that. Music. It's down in my CD thing right now. I mean, we have that. I mean, they were, and it, like you said, it's got a lot of great '60s, early '70s type music. It's a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
And it was a movie that was based on that had a lot of music. A lot of these movies have like just clips of songs where they'll say it's part of the soundtrack, but a lot of these movies had shit going on between them. Where you had the song going the whole direction, through it. And Fast Times is one of those ones that I was almost going to pick, but then I started looking at the soundtrack.
I looked at that today.
And I'm like going, other than moving in stereo, it's clips of stuff. It's not nothing a long time. So anyway.
All right, back to you, Dennis.
All right, so my number 2 pick is another 80s another '80s movie, The Last American Virgin.
Great movie. That's one of my favorite movies.
It is one of my favorite. I almost say it is my favorite '80s movie, and it's one that nobody.
That is awesome. I gotta borrow that sometime.
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely next. Well, I'll see you here
the next time I see you in about 3 years.
Yeah, no, I'll see you here in a couple. Here in about
in a couple. In about 2 months.
Couple months.
But anyway, it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and there's some great.
For that.
And the thing is, the soundtrack to it, and the thing is, the music fits this movie because this guy's getting his heart.
Porn music?
No, this guy's getting his heart broken. The whole movie, this guy's getting his ass whooped, and every song is just like one of those. Oh man, it's like, oh, it gets you again, and it's like, oh, it gets you again. I mean,
it's called heartburn, dude.
What does it do? It gets you again right in the IS. It's just like
you need
right
some
there,
right in your IS,
right in the middle of the kiss. It just gets you right there. but no, that movie. I didn't know you liked.
People listening are gonna be like, "What the fuck is an IS?"
I got a Kiss T-shirt on, and I'm hitting in the IS. But anyway,
punching Paul right in the heart. Head.
But no, that movie there, and it has some, not only the real sad songs, it's got some great upbeat. It's a kind of an '80s. That is a great movie. And if you've not seen The Last American Virgin, you need to watch it. It is
It is a good.
It is actually one of the most true.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
Oh, really?
I don't think I have.
We'll have to next time.
Come on, man! Really?
The Last American Virgin.
Well, he's 45.
Oh. I tell you what,
Laura says we watched it, so I guess we did.
Well, the thing is, it's one of the most true to life '80s movies that you'll ever see. Not one of these everything's all fun and games. It's the way the '80s was. I mean, people were. I mean, this dude, he got screwed. I mean, big time by a chick. It's like it's a great movie. It's real life of the '80s. It's not happy.
It's not.
Matter of fact, Max watched it with me one night. I said, "Dude, you got to watch this movie." And we got to the very end when he's driving home in a station wagon. Max was like going, "That's not a very happy movie." I'm like going, "I didn't say it was a happy movie. I said it was a good movie." He goes, "Man, I really feel bad." I said, "Well, that's kind of what the '80s was. Sometimes it wasn't that happy all the time." Anyway, Alan.
All right. I wish I could recite the ending of this movie because they write the paper at the end of the thing for the teacher. It's the soundtrack to the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of my picks.
Can either of you guys recite their essay they had to write?
No.
Me neither.
I'm 51 years old. I don't remember that shit.
I can walk across the football field and put my fist in the air.
Yep. That's a good movie too.
Though I looked at that, and if you look on IMDb, there's not a lot of songs on that. There was a lot of songs made for the show. Don't You Forget About Me. That was always, everybody thinks about that. But other than that, it was a lot of stuff that was written for the movie. So that's why that was my first thought was like, oh my God, that's one of the ones I'm going to have to put in here. And then I started looking at it, I'm like, oh shit, there's not a whole lot that was actually popular that was in it, So.
Well, just because it was popular don't mean you can't like it.
It's a great movie. It's an awesome movie. No, I like it. No.
All right, so I'm going to go. This is our number 4 pick. Or this is our fourth round, right?
Yours is your fourth round. I'm getting ready to start.
Yeah, my fourth round. Right. So I'm going to go with 1987 soundtrack to a movie that Gene Simmons was in, Trick or Treat. The entire soundtrack was by the band Fastway. And I listened to that earlier. I had that shit cranked up loud. I was the only one home, and it rocks. And I haven't listened to it for a long time. I told Alan earlier that the thing I love about this doing this is it makes me go back and go.
Oh, you go back and listen to that.
I love it. It's so awesome. So I'm pulling that baby out, and it's going in the car.
You're going to be watching The American Virgin here soon.
I am going to.
So.
I am. I actually.
No, I'm like you.
I think after so long, do you go back to being a virgin? Just curious.
I still am.
Yeah. So anyway, that album, I remember the movie was really cool and it was cheesy as all get out.
I've actually got the DVD. I found it.
I
while
have the DVD.
Through stuff.
Ozzy's in that movie and Gene's in that movie, and it's a cool movie. But
do you have the DVD with the original cover, or do you have the DVD that was reissued cover with the Gene and Ozzy on there?
Yeah, I have the Gene and
That's
Ozzy.
the one that I've got.
I got the cheap one.
Yeah, I don't. You have any more Gene movies?
Runaway. I would have Runaway, but I don't have. I have copies of a lot. I make how we make copies of stuff. I've got Runaway, and then I might have the one that with John Stamos in it too, where Gene plays.
Never Too Young to Die.
Yeah,
no.
The Hermaphrodite, whatever. That's so bad.
Oh my God, what the hell was he doing?
He was actually looking like he was on stage at that point.
Mod of Thunder.
Jesus. All right.
Are you ready for number one?
This your number one? Wait.
Number one.
I'm gonna unplug this. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Here, I'll play your number one.
You're echoing.
Right.
Oh, I'm echoing?
A little bit.
It's not playing.
As soon as you play out.
Gotta wait.
I got it too early.
Here you go. That was
all right.
Oh, I know. Turn it off before we get sued, man.
Get sued.
Well, I don't think they're going to sue us. Nobody watches this.
I don't think any of the 24 people.
Anyway, this is my number one. Just because of the fact of that most of the songs for this album were written by different people. We had Sammy Hagar, we had Dio, we had a bunch of people writing for this. You had Jeff Pilson, Zach Wilde, all these guys playing on this album. And then the ones on top of it, you got Stranglehold, a bunch of great other tunes that are played throughout the movie, and it is one of my favorite movies, and the soundtrack, it's great. So
if you ever get a chance to
and
listen,
it's a freaking cranker. It's a cranker.
Oh, it's awesome. Every song on there is awesome. Tom Werman, who was the producer for the album,
sure,
and he might have been the producer for the movie.
I think he was actually
one of the producers for the movie. I heard an interview with him about a year ago, and he talked about how they did that. And they actually had Jeff Pilson and a couple of those other guys in a room, and they would be filming the movie, and they'd go, "Oh, we need a song right here," and they'd run back, literally, they'd run back to the room and go, "Here's the scene. Here's what we're setting up.
Right,
we need a song," and they'd create a song for it.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's cool. I mean, it's just cool as hell. And there's some. Let's see, Ralph Steven, what's his last name? Steven Stins from Steel Panther. He's on here in that movie too.
Oh, he plays one of the guys whenever Mark Wahlberg walks in to do his tryout for the rock star. Whenever he goes in to sing his song, there's a guy in the booth that sounds like David Lee Roth. He's like going a bunch of hey, yeah. That's the guy from Steel Panther coming in.
Yeah, but the band, like the Steel Dragon.
It's the guy from Atomic Punk.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Steel Panther. I mean, Steel.
And Michael Starr, we want you on this fucking show. We want any of you.
We need to reach out to those guys and get.
We do. I have, but I haven't heard that. But they're busy. Them motherfuckers, they're
touring all the time.
They're touring and playing their shit up.
Yeah, but Steel Dragon was.
When I say MF, it's in a good term, and they'll just laugh because they go, "Okay, yeah, we know."
They'll probably tell you to eat a dick or something.
They go, "That guy."
Steel Dragon was Jason Bonham. I mean, the band that played on the record was Jason Bonham and Jeff Pilson and Zach Wilde and Timothy Spall, which I don't know who that is, but just some. I mean, some A-leaguers right there.
Oh yeah, and then your two guys who were singing. You had the guy from Steelheart, who was singing the parts. I guess that was the parts that that
Mark Wahlberg did, I
Mark
think.
Wahlberg did, and DeSoto did the ones of the guy originally. The guy went into the line dances. That was it.
Yeah.
He was singing those. And then, of all things, at the very end, when he gives up his microphone to the other guy, who is that guy?
I haven't seen the movie in years.
Oh my God! Let me think. Alter Bridge, maybe.
Miles Kennedy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Miles Kennedy.
Miles Kennedy is a guy in there going, "Motherfucker, yeah!" He's all screaming. That's Miles Kennedy. You guys got all kinds of talent in that bullshit there.
Yep.
So anyway,
I saw his name on the list, but I couldn't figure out
in that bullshit.
That's talent in that bullshit, and
There
they'll all say, "Yep, that's it."
Yep.
My goodness.
That's a great one.
All right, so that pretty much killed our last two, or at least mine. So. What do you got, Alan?
I kind of feel bad now. I don't even want to say mine. Mine is from one of probably the cheesiest Stephen King movies from the 80s. AC/DC's Who Made Who.
It's got some good tunes on it.
It's got some good tunes on it.
For the most part, it's an AC/DC Greatest Hits album.
Yeah.
Because the only song that was really made for the movie
was
Who Made Who.
Right.
But what's the movie's name?
Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah. But that's the Who Made Who. That song is one of the few songs that actually starts out with drums and bass and no guitar.
Right.
The one
That's
time,
a good song, though. I like that song.
The one time that Angus was like, well, let's be a little more tasteful with this,
But it still sounds like an AC/DC song.
Yeah, Who Made Who is one of my favorite AC/DC songs.
Yeah, that's a good song.
But that whole soundtrack is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm not one that likes instrumentals very much, but both of the instrumentals that are on there I think are fantastic.
Cool.
And I think they play one of those instrumentals when the all the cars are chasing people and running people over and stuff. Maybe that's why I like them so much, because they. That movie is very cheesy, but I fucking love that movie.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Oh, and by the way,
it's
another
not Rockstar, and it's not Steel Panther or Steel Dragon, but
that's a great. Get fucking AC/DC
or Blood Pollution.
And tell you what, again, give AC/DC a little bit more props. They're back out on tour again
with Axl.
Axl's back out again. Axl's just nonstop, dude. What's up with him?
Axl went from being in a tomb somewhere to taking the rock world by storm.
And Axl's went from a guy who was completely unreliable to a guy who is just on time and ready to go every concert.
You think that's a bank account thing?
I think it's all about the money. The bigger, the more numbers on that check. You know what? I got over my shyness with that extra zero. Thank you very much.
Yes, I did.
There's probably three extra zeros.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 3 extra zeros before the decimal.
God damn it. Love it. I love it. I mean, these guys are still out busting their balls and they're rocking and they're getting older and they're still busting ass. Keep on. I mean,
Okay, so before we get off here tonight, I posted something on the Facebook page.
You haven't done yours yet.
Yeah, you haven't done your number one yet.
Mine was his. It's the same.
Oh,
we did it together.
Oh, you mean Rockstar?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was my number one.
Well, okay. I asked my friend Chuck from Kick-Axe Magazine.
What was his?
For his, he gave me a whole bunch of them.
Oh, he didn't.
I mean, I've got others listed here.
We'll just throw some out here real quick.
Right.
We'll do Yank It or Crank It here. Let's go.
Flash Gordon.
I got it, but I hate it.
Amen.
I got it on that.
The soundtrack to Detroit Rock City. Rock and Roll High School.
We have to say Crank It Yank It.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Crank It.
Okay, let's start again then. Flash Gordon.
Yank It.
Yank It.
Agreed. Detroit Rock City soundtrack.
Yank It.
Yank It.
Yank It. Rock and Roll High School.
Crank It.
Crank It. That's a good one.
Crank It. The Beatles, Help, or Sgt. Pepper.
Crank It.
I crank both those.
I would crank Sgt. Pepper before I would crank Help.
Yeah, either one. I've heard it for a while.
The animated movie Heavy Metal.
Crank It. I love that. Don Felder's got some great shit in there. Good stuff. Cheap Trick and Dio. That's a great.
I don't know if I've heard it. So.
Oh my God! Yeah, Crank. Just put your thumb up. and just be there. You go. Take her.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, fucking pull that shit out hard. You know?
Crank it. Yank it.
Apocalypse Now.
You know, that's got a lot of 60s. It's probably like a Forrest Gump, early Forrest Gump kind of thing.
Good Morning Vietnam. I looked at that soundtrack too. It's like, it's all 60s.
It's all
stuff,
60s.
Which is not bad.
It's one of those. I'm gonna give it a kind of a middle of the road. Yeah.
Cool.
Let me throw one out there then.
And his final one that he just sent like 3 minutes ago was Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, crank it!
You gotta go with that one.
I love it.
So Chuck, you win the best soundtrack for that because none of the three of us
was good.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah,
I tell you what,
think about
that movie. Did you guys see the remake of that here recently, where they were doing it on Fox? They did it with some black girl that's been just, I guess, recently. She's transsexual, or whatever.
Didn't even know
actually, they had. See, Tim had a stroke here a while back.
Yeah, Tim.
He was playing the guy who was talking you through it. You know, the guy's like going, "Here's the dance steps." Here's he was playing that guy.
Well, that was cool. They got him involved.
How could you not involve Tim Curry in that?
Was he dressed as Dr. Frankenfurter?
No, that would be funny as hell. But he's all stroked out too. But the thing, the song I love about I love Coming Home. That song is come on, Alan, compose yourself.
It was the face you made, man.
Well, it's just that's what I do. I'm an impersonator.
So Bill and I apologize to anybody in advance. Well, actually, it's too late now. You've already seen it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we apologize.
We
apologize on Dennis's behalf.
I just try to be.
Animated.
Dennis
is animated.
Well,
it's a very visual show when you watch it on YouTube.
And the thing is,
nobody would have
people
seen it.
listen to it on the pot or listen to iTunes and stuff.
It's called a spot.
For the people who like
Spot.
The people who like to watch it on YouTube, I try to be animated.
You know what? We really need some sound
Thanks,
effects.
Monkey Boy. Now let's move on. Make your point.
We need some sound effects here because this is a great time for the toilet sound.
Anyway. We did this.
Okay,
so we did this. Well, actually, we've done two in a week because Alan will be on vacation.
Yeah, by the time you guys are watching this, I'll be sitting on a beach in Florida.
Fucker. And then
I'm gonna try it.
And if Bill and I could ever figure out how to do this shit by ourselves, we would make one and make fun of you the whole time. But we don't.
It'll be like all lopsided. We don't
know how to.
Dennis is animated. He'll be holding the camera. So
the only way we could do this is if we met up and we did it on our phone.
Dennis has a seizure. Be like,
yeah,
whatever.
So let's get back on track here.
Back on track.
Yeah.
So I think that's it for tonight, right?
You were going to bring something else.
Oh yeah. See, I don't even know. So I posted something on the Facebook page and just asked for some responses and got pretty much crickets. I did get one response from Lee, and I appreciate the response, but I posted reunion of reunions next summer.
All right.
Original Dokken, playing for an hour and 15 minutes.
You want my
Rat? No, stop. Rat with Steven, Warren, and Juan. And, well, you can't have
You have Carlos.
B-word. Bobby.
Well, not Carlos. Who passed away? I can see his face. Robin Crosby. So you can't have Robin because he passed away.
That's
and
why Carlos.
Robin. No. Shh. It wasn't Robin.
Robin Crosby is the one that passed
Robin
away.
Crosby. Yeah.
Carlos Cavosa replaced him.
Right. You're right. I'm sorry.
Of course I'm right.
I thought we were going to get in trouble
always
with
right unless I'm wrong.
We're not going to get in trouble. We're going to get in trouble if you say
with
the
name.
The
Billy police. I thought we were going to get.
I don't know if he's watching anymore. He hasn't given us any crap yet lately. So, and then we can't have Bobby, so they have, whomever. Anyway, and then for an hour and 30 minutes, because I listened to Shame, Shame, Shame the other day in the car, and it just rocked. And then headliner for Van Halen or Van Hagar, and I got I got like one response. I was like, well, it sounds like a pretty good setup. That's why they don't let me promote shows.
Well, I was
You
going to.
suck. You have no talent.
I was going to make a comment, but I didn't want to be
You
more
can make
negative.
a comment. It's okay. I
I
don't
know, but the whole point was Dawkins not going to happen. Dawkins not going to get any farther than what it was.
It was just a fantasy poll.
Just a fantasy. You're just a kid. I'm done.
Okay.
You're just done.
No. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right. If Don and them don't kill each other, that would be a great. Okay, I would like to see that in a perfect world. Yes.
In a world.
In a rat situation, yeah, I like to see that. In a Van Halen situation with Sammy Hagar, I have no interest whatsoever to see Van Hagar. I would go see Van Halen with David Lee Roth, and I'll go see Sammy Hagar play his own shit.
I thought he was going to say Van Halen with Gary Sharon.
No. I'll go see David Lee Roth and Van Halen any time of the day.
David Lee Roth is horrible.
He
sounds horrible.
I will go see Sammy Hagar playing his own shit, not the cowboy wobble bullshit, but play the stuff from the 80s. But you put them fuckers together, I don't want to hear it. I will leave. I'll go see Dokken and Rat and leave.
Okay.
Just leave us.
Let's make more room for me.
Yeah, I'll just leave. Because I have no.
I mean, I just don't like. I just think David
Lee
Roth's just an arrogant shit, and he can't carry a tune in a bucket. And
don't
to me,
care.
David Lee Roth is not any different.
David Lee Roth could never carry a tune in a bucket since
he's the same guy as Vince Neil. Yeah.
But it is what Van Halen was. The shits on the recording is what he can do in concert, and it is what it is. He's not a singer. He's a fucking screamer and a yeller.
Well, as long as I don't get drunk Eddie, which is what I got last time I went, I'll be fine.
Well, see,
it was unbearable.
When we went to Indianapolis, we saw kind of crack Eddie because he was. That's right before. Remember when they went on tour with David Lee Roth and they had to quit the tour? Remember they halfway between and put him back in rehab. We seen him right before rehab, and he was jacked up. I mean, hard. You could tell he was fucking cracking out hard. So I'd like to see him now. No, I'm serious. He was cracking out.
That just cracked me up.
You would make a kind of. He was cracking out.
Well, one of the mailing lists that I used to be on, and the lady that ran it shut it down.
Right.
But she posted that that one picture that they show where he's smiling and his teeth are all
out.
They're brown and just terrible.
Yeah.
She described him as looking like hammered dog shit.
And that's what he looked like. That's why he's got all caps.
I mean, it was bad. Yeah. But anyway, I
felt bad for him. I mean,
I
feel bad for anybody that's going through an addiction.
Eddie now has his shit together, and it actually probably would be a really good show. But the thing is, you're going to pull Michael Anthony back into it.
Yes,
that's going to be the thing.
Now that has been a topic because recently, Sammy apologized.
Sammy won't do it without.
Sammy apologized.
Now here's the thing: Sammy apologized to Eddie,
right?
And there's brouhaha stirring up that he's hooking for a 2017 reunion. Now, the brouhaha that's been stirring up is, what if they offer him a reunion without Michael Anthony?
See,
I don't think
Sammy
they'll do
it.
If he does it, then it goes against what he said about sticking up for Michael. But if he doesn't do it,
See, the thing is, though, Sammy won't do. Here's what I'm saying. Here's my prediction. If Eddie and Alex...
We've been wrong before, right?
But I'm going to tell you right now, and I know that I'm right on this one. If Eddie and Alex tell Sammy, we'll do a reunion with you but we won't take Michael Anthony, Sammy will say no. And the reason being that he will say no is Sammy doesn't need the money. Sammy, he sold the company for millions. Sammy doesn't need to make a dime. I mean, he is sitting pretty.
Oh, I agree with that.
And he is friends with Michael Anthony, and he'll stay by his side more than he will the Van Halen side.
And I hope he does because
that's what I'm saying.
His integrity
now,
is on the line.
If he goes back with them and Michael Anthony doesn't come back, then I'm not a fan of any of those fuckers at this point.
I would get on board with that.
Because you know what I'm saying? Because if Sammy was down in the dumps and he didn't have any cash,
and he needed something to bring him up,
I would see him doing this. But yeah, what do you think I would do it? Call Jan,
squirrel,
people.
Sorry,
but anyway, sorry. But yeah, Sammy has more. And after reading the book and all this shit that he's done, if Sammy goes back and doesn't take Michael with him, then he's a fool, and I won't support any of his shit. Now, if he comes back with Michael, then okay. I'm not a big Van Hagar fan, and I won't go see him in concert. But you know what? Good to him. I just don't like that music. That era of music.
That's okay.
Just turns me off, and it's nothing against Van Halen. Just don't care for it.
Yeah, it's all right.
But anyway.
All right. Our opinions. We're all allowed to have them.
We are.
Yep.
Hey, that's what this show can be highly opinionated.
Oh,
it says so right in the opening.
In the freaking can't.
All right. Well, that's it. We're really going to be out of here now. A lot of fun again tonight, and we will see you
next week.
Sometime in a couple weeks.
No, we'll see you next week.
Next week.
Well, that's right. We'll see you next week.
We're doing an extra one.
Alan's going to be taking a little trip, so
we're
out of here.
Beach. See you
later.
Beach.
Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.